Hi. Hello.
Hi, Phoenix. I'm Amy from Women's Spirit of Ruach Nashit.
My name is Maya. I'm from Women's Spirit also. We wanted to send you this video and answer some of your questions and explain about crossing the street. So Amy's gonna ask the question, I'm gonna answer, she's gonna help me, and hope you like it.
Okay. So Maya, how does this program, Crossing the Street, fit into Women's Spirit's overall mission and our strategic plan?
So our overall mission is to help women victims of violence get financially independent, and we do that in Crossing the Street by reaching out to the women in their communities. We give them many services like workshops and mentoring and coaching, some legal advice if they need to, and we help them break the cycle of violence this way.
Which, by the way, JCF Phoenix, you were one of the first funders of the program Crossing the Street, which means we actually, as opposed to women just coming into our main offices in Tel Aviv, we actually went over into their communities, we crossed the street into their communities. So regardless of what happens in the future, thank you very much for what you've done to date.
Yeah.
What impact will their grant have on our program?
So your grant will impact immensely. We will be able to come to more communities, to help more women and victims of violence. And now actually the staff here are making a tour in violence elimination centers across Israel, and we tell them we promote our program and our services to come and join us and collaborate with us. And I think your grant will have an immense impact.
So just I'm going to tie up what Maya said, is that because of what we've been able to build in the last few years of Crossing the Street, we have a lot of experience. We've heard a lot of what people need, both professionals in the field and women who aren't able to cross the street to us. And we've been able to now expand our program in 2016-17. We'd like to continue in 2018-19 to reach more and more communities. We know that we have to reach women there and professionals there as opposed to them coming here. And it will have a huge impact on what we're doing and who we're seeing across Israel.
Yeah.
What do you think is the greatest opportunity facing our organization?
I think right now the biggest opportunities I see and we see as an organization is a way to impact the children's of the women we serve, and basically stop the generational effect that we see in violence in many cases.
So as I'm sure you all know there, and we certainly know here, is that if a child grows up in a home where there's violence, what usually happens in many more cases than not is that the child either becomes a victim of violence themselves or they themselves become an abuser. And so by stopping this now, when a woman says no more, and the children see that, what we're doing is we've stopped it in their tracks, which means that we stopped the generational growth of it. We've basically stopped the generational effect of violence by helping the woman here and their children.
Yeah.
So the likelihood of their children then committing violence or being a victim of violence is much less likely,
Yeah.
which I think is enormous. It's
Yeah.
enormous. If that can be the domino, only that, and we have much more, but only that be the domino effect, I think we can say we've done a great job and we're moving forward in a really positive way.
Yes. And Amy, I think I want for the last part, maybe you can tell us about Yafit or
Yeah, I think Yafit.
yeah.
Yafit is someone who's been with us about a year, a little over a year. She's today has just celebrated her 39th birthday. She was a victim of incest, and the only thing that stopped the incest is that when she moved to Israel before her parents moved, and then her parents followed, and she ended up living on a kibbutz, but that stopped the incest. The incest was by an alcoholic father. So in her home she experienced incest. Her mother was beaten, and I can go on and on and on. She came to us a little over, like I said, a little over a year, almost a year and a half ago now. She has received services that today is sort of a cherry on the cake, in that she spoke at our international conference on January 11th, and she told her story. And it was the first time she publicly told her story. But just to put into perspective what she's done in a year and a half is she had been working in a job that was much below her abilities. Today she's in a position now which much more fits her abilities. She's in charge of a department. She's a manager of a department. She has people working below her. She has people working above her. She's earning a real salary as opposed to a menial, bottom line, entry-level position. She went back to school to get more training. She worked with a mentor. She was part of an employment group. She's part of our weekly group that we see on every Sunday. We have a social gathering of women because, as many of you in the States may belong to a sisterhood at the synagogue or part of a B'nai B'rith or part of the Federation or part of something else, women victims of violence don't have that kind of thing. And so we've created something both in Tel Aviv and in the North that's a weekly get-together, that the first part of the session is kind of hanging out, talking, chit-chatting. The second part is something educational, a lecture. And the third part is different types of skills about looking for a job, or somebody like Yafi comes and speaks about her path of what she went through here. But she is certainly a success story and someone who has stand up publicly. And I can tell you that probably next year when we do this video, she'll be sitting here speaking to us and you. Thank you.
Thank you.
If you have any questions, we're happy to answer them, and really thank you for all your help. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.